Thanks for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Our top story tonight, an investigation is underway after an early morning shooting in the Linz neighborhood left one person dead. Our Celine Stevens is joining us from the newsroom with what we know so far. Celine?
John, that's right. So almost all the neighbors I spoke with refused to be on camera, but many said the sound of gunshots as well as other crimes like car thefts and damages aren't a new thing in this neighborhood. Still, most of them were surprised to learn this deadly shooting happened right outside their homes, with the suspect still on the loose.
It's a sad situation.
Portland police say Saturday they responded to a report of a man who was shot at an apartment complex in southeast Portland. When they arrived, they found him dead in a common area at the Scott Mountain by the Brook apartments.
The whole thing was kind of crazy and just kind of jarring in general. But yeah, I mean, it's sad above all else. But yeah, it's definitely been very crazy.
This neighbor, who wanted to remain anonymous, says she didn't know about the shooting till later in the morning, but described the scene as she was trying to leave for work as general chaos, with police still swarming the area. Other neighbors I spoke with refused to be on camera, but some of them did tell me that they heard what sounded like gunshots during Saturday's early morning hours, but did not think much of it.
You do kind of in the neighborhood hear gunshots, that kind of thing, every so often. So more so than anything, it's just kind of close to home and a little bit like shocking and jarring.
Another neighbor I spoke with says he heard arguing before the shots were fired. Still, most in the complex say that although they have heard gunshots from surrounding areas and crimes like car vandalism aren't rare, it's usually never a crime to this scale. By the afternoon, police reported the on-scene investigation was over and the property was reopened. Victim and suspect information are not currently being released by authorities.
Unfortunately, with these areas nowadays and just the way that society tends to, has tended to progress, but I think it's just important that everybody try to stay safe.
Police also told me earlier today that this shooting remains an active case and no arrests were made. As for the victim's identity, police say that will be released at a later time. John?
All right, our Celine Stevens tonight. Thank you, Celine. Police are still looking for a driver who hit and killed a person in northeast Portland. Portland police say the victim was hit trying to cross the street off northeast 113th Avenue in East Burnside around 10 last night. By the time they got there, the driver had left and the pedestrian was dead. Neighbors shared their concerns with us today and hope that police find the driver.
I mean, I'm sure that person was scared and devastated that they did what they did. Hopefully they were. But I definitely think that, taking off like that is cowardly.
Car accidents have killed at least 40 people in Portland so far this year. As for residents in the Hazelwood neighborhood, they're hoping police can continue stepping up traffic enforcement to prevent future deaths. An update now to an incident at Vancouver's Clark College. Today, police arrested Nolan Sanchez and booked him on charges of sexually motivated assault and indecent exposure. The charges stem from multiple incidents that happened on campus Thursday. A teen student said Sanchez followed her and made comments that made her feel uncomfortable. He also reportedly slapped a female staff member on the backside and was caught on video apparently touching himself in a common area. Well, turning now to weather, with just 2 days left of September, we're still going to be seeing a lot of sunshine and some really pleasant conditions. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is joining us now with a quick look at our Sunday forecast. Joe?
Yeah, we really couldn't ask for better weather for late September, and even heading into the early part of October, it's going to be really nice. And speaking of early October, at least for Tuesday, we could be looking at daytime highs reaching upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. Showers return, though, at this point late next week and into next weekend, but we're going to focus on what we're going to be running into for tomorrow. Temperatures will be basically in the upper 40s, low 50s, starting things out by the afternoon. A little brief morning clouds turn into nothing but crystal clear skies. I'm expecting to see daytime highs right around the mid to the upper 60s. A few locations could get close to that 70-degree mark. Now, the red flag warning is in place throughout parts of the Columbia River Gorge and along near Pendleton and throughout southeast Washington. Very breezy conditions. That's why the fire danger is is going to remain high heading into tonight and tomorrow as well. Currently, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-50s throughout the metro area. Along the Oregon coast, low 50s, and east side of the state, looking at temperatures in the upper 50s. So we'll have a ridge of high pressure develop over the next couple of days, and that means good news over the next few days. But again, I'm tracking that rain. I'll let you know just how much we could be seeing heading into the later part of next week in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. Portland police are asking people to reach out after detaining two people earlier this evening in downtown Portland. They say one of the individuals allegedly pointed a handgun at others in the area of Southwest 6th Avenue and West Burnside. Officers detained the two as they were attempting to drive away and recovered what they were calling a realistic-looking BB gun. No one was hurt. Both suspects remain in police custody on multiple charges. Portland police are also investigating a separate shooting that left several vehicles damaged and possibly one person hurt. Officers were called to Northwest 2nd and Cooch, where they saw at least 7 cars hit by bullets. At some point later on, an area hospital treated a walk-in patient with a gunshot wound, but it's unclear if the two are related. A suspect has not been identified. And new tonight, 2 people are displaced from their home after a fire this morning. Callers reported seeing smoke from a home on Southwest Wyndham Oaks Court in West Lynn. Firefighters arrived to find heavy smoke. After about 45 minutes, crews got the fire under control with the help from other fire districts. At this point, it's believed to have been caused by a wiring issue for some landscape lighting. Well, the number of people who've died from opioid overdoses in Oregon is 5 times higher than it was in 2019. That's according to the Oregon Health Authority, which shows the numbers keep rising. Our Libby Dowsett spoke with people recovering from addiction who say the only way to turn that trend around is by opening more beds for those in crisis.
2 fingers on the top, thumb on the bottom, have them on their back.
Elizabeth Smith from Oxford House Recovery Homes spent Saturday morning teaching people what to do if someone overdoses. She represented one of many organizations at this year's Walk for Recovery event in downtown Portland. Smith says she knows how difficult it can be to get help because she too is a recovering addict.
I overdosed in the last 14 months that I was using 8 times. Every time I was released from the hospital, they handed me a printout list of detox centers and treatment centers, not even the phone numbers.
Smith says the best way to help an addict is to offer a warm hand approach.
Having people meet them where they're at, give them resources, be willing to drive them to that detox center.
Others in the crowd with their own addiction stories say the answer is not just getting people into detox, but also offering more time for recovery.
We are seeing better outcomes with people with 30 days of sobriety coming into housing, right? And but when we get them straight from detox, they're either leaving that, from detox or that night, and the success just isn't there right now.
To recognize and acknowledge every approach to the addiction is more important than rather than trying to compete to see which one works better.
Multnomah County's district attorney-elect told KGW acute detox centers and treatment centers need to be the priority.
And we talk about things like, a lot of times about deflection and 4002. That really should actually start with detox and detox centers and getting people the help they need to really ensure that we can get them out of crisis and out of that acute situation where they may be at risk of dying.
The support is here. Addicts with their family and friends showing how far they'll travel to help others in need.
People involved in this walk say it's about a lot more than just walking through downtown Portland. They say this is a show of solidarity and that they can get better.
It doesn't matter how far down you are, as long as you're still breathing, there's always a chance.
Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
It was an annual dinner held in celebration of one of the nation's longest-running advocacy groups. Today was the Freedom Fund dinner held by the Portland branch of the NAACP. The specific branch has been fighting for civil rights since 1914, making it one of the oldest within the group. Today was in part meant to honor the legacy of those who came before to fight for others, while also encouraging the next generation to step up and do their part.
I'd love to say that we've gotten there, but as we all know, society changes, and with the change, we still need that advocacy. It's just paramount that we continue that legacy and continue to build awareness and bring, again, membership into the fold as we continue to strive for a betterment of society.
The sold-out dinner included business owners, local and state lawmakers, plus local education leaders. With today's event, they call on everyone to do their part in advocating, starting by joining the NAACP.